Welcome to Story Route Zero.
This is a podcast where friends gather to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and the strange worlds of video games. We often don't know where we're going, but that's half the fun. Come on the journey with us. Hit us up on Twitter at StoryRoute0. You can send us an email at StoryRoute0@gmail.com. That includes questions, concerns, comments, complaints, pet pics. Send us some recipes. Send us some stories about your day. We're going to listen.
Podcast, start your engines. We have liftoff. Let's have a journey.
So you see, I love you so much that I don't want to watch you leave me, baby. Most of all, I just don't want to be free. That's Etta James. I'd rather go blind off of Tell Mama, and it also closed the wonderful 2016 game Firewatch. My name is Matthew Keel. It's Women's Day, so happy Women's Day to all the women out there. And this is Story Route Zero, episode 60. Jason hasn't corrected me yet, so I must be correct. I have three co-hosts with me. The aforementioned Jason. How are you, sir?
That quote is kind of every morning. I just don't.
Well, yeah. Michaela, how's our favorite transplant masshole?
Barely upright today. We are full on almost vertical. Not quite. I'm like leaning for support on this chair to stay in this mortal coil.
Almost horizontal?
We're almost vertical, but on the way to horizontal.
Okay, all right. You're like Michael Jackson in Smooth Criminal doing that lean thing.
Yeah, except I'd fall right over on my ass.
Except you're too young for that reference. Okay.
I know
Moose,
what it
how
is.
are you? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm about to get older this month, man.
Congratulations.
I don't think so.
A whole bunch of old this month.
Happy birthday.
She's almost done with the level she's on.
Yeah. Give me 11 more days to beat this level.
11 more days to beat this level. Okay. So in 2 weeks, we'll be saying happy belated to Michaela. So this is Story Route Zero. We talk about video games. But first, how was everybody's weekend? Michaela, you first. No nose bullshit this week.
No what bullshit? Nose goes? That's not bullshit. That's just like ironclad truth of life.
Okay. None of that, though.
Weekend. A lot of ups and downs, man. Lots of everywhere. Lots of adult shit. Lots of family shit.
Are you okay?
I am just tired. It's been draining. It's been a draining couple weeks. I did get some bad news about family members and their health this weekend, but I will.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I will plow right past that right now. I have some updates about living situation. I found an apartment.
Yay!
We need like a trophy sound just on deck for when things like that happen.
Yes.
Bing!
I done found a place to live by my onesies in June.
Ooh, by yourself.
Oh, you're going solo.
I'm growing
Michaela
up.
Crishone, solo dolo, out in New England.
The
by herself.
end of an era.
Yes, I'd be out here crushing gold, man. Oh, my wallet about to bleed, but yeah, I should hear back tomorrow with the final details on like the lease and stuff like that. So,
congratulations.
Yes, my family's very excited because I will be much closer to them. I'll be one town over from, the one, the only, the Jeff. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
Don't let him buy you beer.
Can you toilet paper his house for me?
Yes.
I might be able to.
Yes. Yeah. Jeff, if you're listening, stop listening. We got plans for you, son.
But yeah, so that took a lot of my time over the past week, but also this weekend, doing apartment hunting stuff, budget stuff, looking at furniture stuff, because I'm gonna have to downsize a little bit from here. So like my kitchen table's too big and I'm gonna have to get something smaller, stuff like that. But you know, my mom loves to shop and she loves to spend my money, so she's off to the races with that. I donated 6 bags of clothes this weekend.
Nice.
I done replaced about 90% of my wardrobe. I have lost about 80 pounds at this point from June. So dem clothes is gone now. Never to come back. I don't even know what else I did this weekend. Talked to people, did the clothes thing, did the apartment stuff, played some games, wished I was asleep, but was not asleep. And I feel like that's a summary of my weekend.
I have a lot of those weekends where I just wish I was asleep. Moose, let's go to you.
Weekend was good.
Cool.
Some gaming. Went to the mountains with the dogs. Like, it was cold. It was nice here this weekend. It's starting to warm up. It was like 60 something today. So we heading into spring.
It's starting to tease us up north, and I don't believe it yet.
Yeah, like we had that happen like a week ago. Excuse me. And then it got cold again, and it was like, stop. Just one or the other, you know? But anyways, looking at beta fish and fish tanks, because the wife wants to get a beta fish, and I told her, if you want a beta fish, I get to name it. Or them. I think we're getting females. So, because I think she was saying that if you want to have more fish than just the beta, it needs to be female. But I don't know if you can have 2 female betas. I don't know exactly.
I know you can't have 2 males. I know
yeah,
that
definitely
for sure.
can't have 2 males because somebody's gonna die. And but so she said, all right, and so we're working towards that. So we'll see how it
What's
happens.
a beta fish? I actually don't know.
They're the little, like the little, like usually like red and bluish type of little, like they have the long streamy thin fins on them.
Oh, okay. No,
I had one in college, like we had one in college whose name was OP, which was short for Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
And we had one growing up named Freddie.
I told, like, we were sitting there and she was like, oh, we could just get one and put it on the windowsill. And I'm like, I think you need a lot of space for them. She's like, I don't know.
They can go in something this big.
No.
I mean, not if you have more than one.
Well, no, not. It's not like they need like 5 gallons of water to like get rid of, unless you have like a really good filtration system.
Yeah, I've never had that problem. Our fish lived for years and years, and they weren't. Yeah, that's a beta fish.
There you go, Chief.
The long streamy fin things. That's what I was trying to go for.
But,
thank you, Jason.
So it's going to be interesting. So I was just telling her names. And we were like looking at fish, and there was a black one. I was like, oh, that could be Gascoigne. And then we saw blue, and I was like, that'll be Parle. There was a white one, and I said Amelia. And she's like, where are those names coming from? And I'm like, nowhere in particular.
Do you want to know? Do you want to
know?
How does she not already know if she lives with
already.
you?
But and I
gonna get an orange one. It's gonna be called Aaron Keener. Like,
I was just gonna
If
say
it's
that.
pink, it's pause.
or pestilence, or true patriot.
No, I wouldn't go.
No,
I wouldn't go.
He wouldn't go pestilence because that borders on religion and if I know he ain't religion, it's one of the 4 horsemen.
I know it is, but it would still be all right. Anyways, so we're gonna like pick out a tank, and she cleared off like part of the counter to like put a tank in, and so now she's like down this deep hole of like rabbit hole of like fish and what you can have with them and what you can put in the fish tank. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, this is cool. I'm like, sure. You want to have a fish tank? What
you need to get one of those big daddy looking deep sea divers.
Yeah,
and put LEDs in it so it glows. Freak out the fish. That'd be great.
They wouldn't know. They wouldn't care.
Probably not, but you know, in my head that would be fun.
I was also thinking of putting like a Mario level in with like blocks and like the flag maybe towards the back. That would be kind of cool. I don't know.
Would be cool.
See what happens.
Stick bloopers, or is that what they're called? The little squid guys.
Those I know.
Are they bloopers or goobers? Because I always forget.
I have no clue. I don't know my Mario names. Like the squid looking things from Mario.
Well,
Yeah. In the water levels. Or if you play Mario if you play Mario Kart, the thing that shoots ink all over you.
Mm-hmm.
Blooper, okay.
Yeah. Could
Yeah,
put that.
I knew
you
goober.
were mixing it with Goomba.
No. No, I think when I was a kid I called them goobers.
Oh, okay.
Because anything else, Moose?
That's it.
Marshall?
Uneventful weekend. Watched a few movies. Some good. Some really, really bad.
It was a really bad one.
Monster Hunter. Holy shit.
You don't expect anything else, right?
No. So I expected it to be bad. It destroyed my expectations. It was
Wow.
atrocious. It was wow. Wow.
I forgot that movie was coming out.
Like the
And
Hunter.
I still don't want to see it.
Tony Jaa played the Hunter, and he's a badass. He's a badass.
Yeah, he is. He is.
But it was just, yeah, it was wow. I watched Boss Level, the new Mel Gibson, Frank Grillo movie. It's really cool. Basically, he's caught in a time loop, and he's like special forces, and he just keeps reliving the same until he solves the problem. But like it's action oriented, and he's being hunted and killed every day. So he eventually learns. So he like wakes up and dodge. But it's funny because he goes about like casually like dodge the machete, grab the coffee, drink some. Like he does it like in slow motion.
It's
Like,
Groundhog Day.
basically, like there's a part where a helicopter comes with a minigun, so he just like spins the guy because he knows the helicopter's coming, steps over one. It's just it's clever. And then with the girls we watched Raya and the Last Dragon.
That looks
Disney
awesome.
Plus movie. We didn't watch it on Disney Plus because I ain't paying $30.
Do you know how long it's in Premier Access? Because like Mulan came out of it after like 2 months.
Yeah, it's like the same amount. It's just
I think it said June 4th.
Oh, so that's longer. That's like an extra
Apparently
month.
made a killing.
Yeah. I want to watch it, but I'll wait till I don't have to pay for it. Because I already pay for Disney Plus.
The main character is Kelly Marie Tran from Star Wars, the new one. She was in, I forgot her character's name. The new series.
New trilogy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Aquafina is the dragon, and she's funny.
Aquafina's funny.
She's really funny.
Yeah.
The girls Aria loved it. Amelia kind of just mimics. I don't think she really knows. It's just colors and bright stuff still. But yeah, no, pretty good otherwise. Submitted a review today. So to start off the fuck you, Jason train.
I already told you I wasn't getting to it before this. I'll get to it tomorrow.
You basically told me, fuck you, Jason. I'm not doing this now.
It's like, I got out of this meeting an hour late, Jason.
Well, I don't think I've talked to you at all this week, like, or at least not in terms of like you saying, oh, here's a game you might like. So I don't think I have a fuck you, Jason.
You might.
Give him a minute.
You might.
Jason's like, hold my beer.
We'll see.
So my weekend was adulting. We got our taxes done.
Nice.
And I finished Berserk Volume 1. So that manga is a manga for people who like video games, I think. I think also it is very much like an 80. It's started what 30 some odd years ago. So, was it only 20? I thought it started in 89.
No, it might be. It was 30 because I think the last time we talked about it, you said 40, and I was like,
yeah, I was saying Street Fighter was 40 years old.
Yeah, I was like, no, dude, come on, man, we're not that old yet.
We don't know how old you are, Matt. But it's definitely like it definitely comes out of it. Seems like it comes out of someone who was really into fantasy as well as like the 80s action movie sort of dialogue delivery.
Yeah.
It's not a very deep read, which actually ended up being to its credit. Normally things, if they're, I'm not saying I require a certain amount of depth when I read something, but when I do read,
we have a reader among us. Look at this guy.
We got ourselves a reader. When I do read, I like something to think about, but this also ended up being just like popcorn. So if you are ever manga curious, check out Berserk. Little misogynistic in some spots, but overall, the 600 pages I read ended up saying, I'll get volume 2 and see how that goes.
It's 10 years younger than you are.
Okay. So it is 31 years old.
89. Because you were 79. You're the same year I am, right?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yes. What else did we do? We did something else. Oh, we argued, or we on Sunday we were staying in bed trying to get ourselves motivated to go, to the grocery store, and I got up to use the restroom, like you need to sometimes. I come back in and Reba's like, "Yeah, we're not going to the grocery store." I'm like,
You just
cool.
ordered it all, right?
And I'm like, okay. And she's like, yeah, groceries will be here Tuesday. And I'm like, all right, fine, as long as one of us is home.
Nice.
And then today we had to do some adoption stuff, which nothing major. We just had to update like our reference letters. We have to schedule our respective physicals. We had to go get fingerprinted because it's been 2 years since we started that process, and
started all over again.
Basically, yeah. I mean, it's not really starting over.
Not all of it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's like, I had to get my license renewed today, except now we had to do a whole bunch of other stuff. Other than that, not a whole lot. So that was my weekend. So Jason, why are we saying fuck you this week?
Well, it's not. So you guys can't play it till you get PCs. So it's like a future fuck you.
He's saving it up.
He's like I'm putting my fuck yous on layaway.
I guess I'm starting then. So I've been playing Loop Hero on PC.
Oh, you know what? This is not a fuck you, Jason. I have been excited for this game for like 2 years now. So I always knew it was going to be PC only, at least until they decided to put it on console.
Oh my god, this is so.
That game looks dope as fuck. So.
Holy crap!
So instead of a fuck you, Jason, I'm with you, Jason.
There's actually someone, I forgot who it was. Someone published an article that it's basically cocaine, and Devolver tweeted, "No, it's not cocaine. Don't do cocaine. Do Loop Hero. No, just Loop Hero." It's very addicting. So, for those unaware, you play this hero with amnesia, and you walk in a loop. And as you go, you draw. So there's card building elements, and the cards can be played on the map, and they can give you bonuses. The harder you make it, the more materials you get. Every time you make a loop, it's a new day, which there's like buildings and stuff that will replenish your health. And you basically keep going till you hit the boss fight. But you can leave at any point to go back to your base. And you have to build up the base, but people don't remember anything. It's this weird setting where nobody really remembers. The memory starts to come back, and then they're lost every like loop. And you just going around it fights automatically. There's no, you can upgrade your gear, but the fighting's simple. You swing, they swing. It's back and forth. But the card placement is what's the strategy here. Like if you put up multiple mountain ranges, everyone that touches will increase your health by 5. You could spawn vampires, and more enemies, more loot. But then you could put up like a lighthouse, which any tile that hits a lighthouse, you get 40% attack speed. So it's like there's strategy to it, and then how long you last. It's just, I could see the cocaine reference, I guess. I mean, I've never done it myself, but it's very addicting.
All right.
Hopefully it comes. I think it would be perfect on. I can't believe I'm saying this.
2 out of 5 would not recommend.
I think.
Oh wait, we're still talking about Loop Hero. My bad.
I think it would actually work well on mobile. The concept is just, it's very simple. It would work. Hopefully it comes to Switch. I mean, I could see it on console too.
Yeah.
But I think it would be perfect on Switch. And I think they plan on other places. But right now it's just, Devolver usually brings everything to everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they usually start with Switch when it's not one of the starters. What else you got?
More Outriders. I'm killing this demo. I taught Jeff how to farm the legendary weapon. And he went on mute, and Moose is in the party. And so Jeff was on the phone, but he was still following me. It was a simple farm. And I stopped for a second and I looked at his weapon, and the legendaries in game are noticeable. They're definitely different. And Moose is like, listen, I'm like, this motherfucker. For like 20 minutes, he's still on mute, and then he texts me, I can still hear you. I'm cursing him out. I'm like, son of a bitch.
You should.
Him and Moose both went to bed, and I got my first legendary drop. I'm like, yes. And the other night, I got another one. I have like 13 hours in this demo at this point.
Jeez.
Only because it carries over. If it didn't carry,
if it didn't carry, I probably would have stopped. I mean, I already pre-ordered. Played that. I beat, because see, Matt said you kicked the bear, you woke the bear. I beat Rogue Heroes.
Nice.
Nice.
I did kick the bear, because I did text him when I was like deep in the second dungeon, like, where you at, man? Where you at?
It's like, I'm at the final boss, bitch. What's up?
That was like the rabbit lifting its head from the lettuce and being like, oh crap, and just like right past me.
So what's weird is this is like one of the first early access games on Switch. The content's in the game, but there's like placeholders. So they just have to patch stuff in. And I joined the Discord, and it definitely restored my no, it didn't restore any faith in humanity. People suck. The developers are literally in there, and people are complaining like, oh, you probably shouldn't have released the Switch version until you fixed it. It's like, I'm sorry, are you a developer? These people,
they fixed what? What are they complaining about?
The sync issues that we had with multiplayer.
Oh.
But they're not even that bad. Like, there was a few glitches where me and Moose, like, something didn't spawn right, yet they'll just leave.
Just had to die. We had to die a bunch of times. Actually, I had to die the most.
Yeah.
because somebody built his attack up more than his health and left me in the trenches taking grenades. So it's all right.
I've been
I think I
there.
died. Yeah.
I've been there. I've been the exact opposite of that in Risk of Rain 2, where I have health for just months, but
Couldn't hit it.
I'm basically poking people with a pillow, and they're just going, "That doesn't hurt."
Yeah, I know.
Couldn't hit a cow's ass with a banjo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Or a double neck guitar, and that would be way bigger.
fantastic game. Haven't tried the endless dungeon yet. So I want to try that. Not deleting it because I'm looking forward to the other stuff they add. I'll do more co-op, especially if we get Jeff to play. He's been cursing us because he's like, I've been watching Rogue Hero videos all week, you bastards.
It's like I can't buy another Switch game without playing what I already have to play.
Well, you can.
Well, you can.
You can.
I'm just gonna say that, Jeff, if you've actually started listening again, it's not Jason's fault you're incorrigible.
That's true. That's true.
What else?
I love for you, but it's not Jason's fault.
Oh, so I won myself a copy of Mortal Shell.
Cool.
PS5 Enhanced Edition.
You will beat
Very
it
nice.
probably before I will at this point.
I played a bit. I got the first shell, the knight, for lack of a better. I didn't. But then I got the I can't think of its name. The shell that has a stupid health pool, like the bar goes half the screen, but I have like no something the Indomitable.
Yeah, you have no. It's like the tank one or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't have that one yet.
I'm enjoying it. My only issue is where do you go?
You don't know. You just step in bear traps.
Yep.
Follow the bear traps, and
I'm
you
like
still
so
won't go
confused.
anywhere.
I'm like,
Yeah,
so
you will just go in a circle.
I'm like in a fight. I know the bear trap's there. I'm dodging them. The guy steps in it. I kill him. No enemies around. Stepped in 1, 2, 3. Backed up 4. Yep. But
It's like somebody had a copy paste tool when they made that game, and they're like, "Okay, we need some ground here." Oh shit! I was still on the bear trap part. And just copy pasted a bunch of bear traps with
and they just leave it. They just
leave it. It's like you're making
like
Zoo Tycoon.
Right.
Oh, I didn't mean to make the fence that big. I'll leave it.
Wait, let's. You might be onto something here, sir. But you're onto something. Okay, all right, fine.
No, someone probably, as they were doing that, said someone's gonna turn into Sideshow Bob, and that'll be their one sort of giggle with this game, because you'll step in a bear trap and just go.
So enjoying it, but like I said, where do I go?
You don't.
And last, I had reviewed Tesla Force last year. It was on sale for a PS4 or 5 for like $12, so I picked that up. It's a fun twin stick shooter. Play as Tesla, Marie Curie, Mary Shelley, the group of people that seem to go together, because why not? But it's an enjoyable time. It's a simple twin stick shooter, but it's a lot of fun. And that's about it, I think.
Michaela,
I only played one game.
how's Bravely Default?
Beat?
I did not start Bravely Default. I fell short of my goals.
You platinum strikers then?
No.
What?
Oh, she
I
fell
played
short.
Strikers.
What part of
Well, okay, remember.
What part of fell short? She's already short. You gotta. I mean,
I'm trying not to, do the height jokes.
gotcha.
Trying not to.
I got your back.
You want me to publish your review tomorrow?
Ooh.
That's
right.
have to.
Get him where he lives, Michaela. Get him where he lives.
Last week when we talked, I said I was about 35 hours into Persona 5 Strikers. I was on the
Musona.
fifth dungeon. Yes, Musona. I was on the 5th dungeon. I beat it a couple days later. My playthrough took me about 46 hours. You can probably beat it in 35 to 40, but I was paranoid about missing anything because there's missable shit for trophies.
Yeah.
So yeah, I beat it in 46 hours. I am now sitting around 62 hours into Strikers because I've been working on the platinum. I put up my review this weekend. Oh yeah, I reviewed a game this weekend. That's what I did this weekend. Got an apartment, reviewed a game. I forgot about that part. I literally
Okay. We're gonna cut here, roll it back, and start over. Everybody back to 1.
I reviewed a game. It's there. I tweeted it. The thing. Thumbs up on the game for Persona fans. It is a straight up sequel. So if you like Persona 5 and it doesn't kill you that it's not turn based and you're open to the fact that it's action based, it's so much more than just a Muso. It doesn't play like any other Muso I've ever experienced. Then I highly recommend because it's more story, it's more characters, it's more fun for Persona 5 fans. If you didn't play Persona 5, what are you doing? It's a sequel. Like, yeah, you can play it, but if you haven't played Persona 5, I recommend you play Persona 5. And if you absolutely hate the idea of playing a long turn-based game, at least watch Persona 5 instead of playing it because like you're missing so much with these characters and the game doesn't hold your hand about explaining the plot of the previous game and the metaverse and how all that shit works. So you're jumping into like Kingdom Hearts 3 here if you're going right into Strikers. Like you're playing a sequel, a story
Okay.
sequel.
All right.
There's no joke about that.
I just thought of Jason going, "What am I doing? Not playing Persona 5 Strikers. That's what I'm doing."
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. It's thumbs up for everything about how it integrates Persona and Muso gameplay. A lot of the Persona stuff is streamlined because it is a shorter game. Air quotes. Like I said, it took me about 46 hours to beat it. It's probably a roughly 35 to 40 hour game on average for most people. So that's not a short game, but when the average for Persona 5 is 80 to 100 hours or more, like I want to say my playthrough was 130 hours for Persona 5. It's relatively short. So like things like the compendium is much smaller because it suits the size of the game, stuff like that. Yeah, so I have completed the compendium. It stops at Lucifer. It doesn't go up to like Citadel or whatever you say, however you pronounce that. So the compendium's a little smaller. Fusing is streamlined quite a bit. Like I explained on the last episode how there's a bond meter instead of social stats or confidants or anything like that. The requests are pretty easy to fulfill most of the time. So streamlined Persona stuff mashed into Muso gameplay that still incorporates the personas where you call up persona holding R1 and you select your skills from a menu. So it is Muso, but it's also got almost like a turn-based element injected into there. It's still about knocking enemies down by striking their weaknesses. The one thing in my review that I had as a critique really of this game is that the strength of Persona's art and music is also sometimes this game's downfall. So if you've played Persona 5, you know that when you're in the battle, you've got characters talking, and you know how Matt, like in the top right corner, you'll see like the head bubble pop up in the middle of a battle, and it's like Futaba or Morgana talking about the situation. That still happens, but this is a Muso game. So you've got a million enemies on screen.
Yeah,
you've got
it's not something you can give a second to. You have to. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got people talking. You've got enemies fighting you. You've got Yusuke and Haru and all casting like map Sayadine and whatever all over the screen. You've got the sound effects from battle all going at the same time. You can't understand what people are saying during all of that. So that didn't quite work. Also, towards the end, when you have like all those like top tier level spells, the visual effects of how these spells work from Augie up to Augie Dean and Blazing Hell, they stay the same as they were in the turn base, but now they're in the middle of a Muso. So these effects are huge on the screen, especially when you have multiples going off. So by the end game, there were certain times where I was literally playing by feel because I couldn't play by sight. The sight was just visual chaos. I couldn't see what was happening. Yep.
Teacher, I have a question.
Yeah.
Is Makoto's cosmic flare or the giant nuke thing that she does in Persona 5, is this still badass?
It's still fucking bad. She's still fists of justice all over the place. It's still bad
All right,
fucking
cool.
ass. You just can't
All
see
right.
for shit. So what you do is you lock on and you pray that you're hitting something.
I know if they're in the cloud, I can kill them.
Exactly.
Well,
So it was a lock
okay.
on and a prayer at the end.
I mean, sometimes turn-based Persona 5 feels that way. Sometimes. I did want to ask. Now it's been a there's a gap in your Muso experience in terms of time. Does that affect your experience at all? Do you think that would affect like someone who like myself?
Not really. I mean, so I haven't played a ton of Muso. Like I have played some Dynasty Warriors 8. I didn't own Dynasty Warriors 8. I didn't feel motivated to.
Fair.
I don't know that like you wouldn't like you need any Muso background to be able to play this game. I don't know that having a Muso background is going to negatively or positively impact your experience of it. I think just not having any Persona 5 background is going to negatively impact your experience of it because you need to understand the combat system, how all these stats work, because they don't fucking tell you. They do not hold your hand.
No, they do not.
Yeah, so like I do bet that my Muso experience, since most of it comes from stuff like Dynasty Warriors 3 and only a little bit comes from stuff like Dynasty Warriors 8 or some of the like Hyrule Warriors, like I've watched Jess play Age of Calamity and stuff like that. It probably skews me to expect less of Muso because I'm used to the more outdated stuff, but am aware of the more modern stuff. But yeah, no, I think the only thing that really would negatively impact is if you have no idea what the fuck is going on with the Persona side of things. Because they don't explain.
Cool.
Yeah. I am working on the platinum. I have one trophy left before the platinum. And that is why I don't.
Yep, that's it. It's a Persona game then. It's a Persona game because you're going,
It is the most unbalanced motherfucking trophy I think I have ever attempted to tackle.
What is it? Is it a twins fight again?
No, it is a grinding trophy. So I've got everything. I completed the Persona Compendium. I got my party all up above level 70. I did all of the requests. I killed the shit out of the motherfucking Reaper. I spanked that bitch right in the face. He's super dead. And I started, I'm up to the second palace on New Game Plus Merciless difficulty, which is fucking hard. But this trophy is killing me.
What's the trophy?
You have to max the bond meter. So I explained the bond meter. It's like it goes up whenever you do a fight, progress the story, fulfill quests, cook a new food for the first time. And that's what gives you points to spend on things like upping your party's stats, improve lock picking, everything.
So this is your social stats this time out then?
Yes, basically. And it's just all filled up on a bond meter. And when I beat the game, my bond meter was in the level 50s. It goes up to level 99. So after 46 hours, it was in the 50s. And then the best grinding tactics out there, which are either farm a boss called Metatron at the end of New Game or to farm a boss, the Dire Shadow version of Rajanaga in the second palace in Merciless New Game Plus, which is the one I'm going with. The best strategies for grinding from like the 50s, 60s, where I'm now in the low 60s with my bond meter. So to get from level like 63-ish to 99 will take between, depending on which of those two grinding methods I just described, which boss you fight, 10 to 15 hours of just grinding. And I've completed everything else in the game. Every other trophy, the compendium, everything. New Game Plus doesn't do anything new in terms of story content or anything like that. So there's really no purpose in chasing that dragon. 10 to 15 hours of grinding the same boss over and over again is the fastest way to push this bond meter.
I mean, I kind of feel like Jason and I could probably tell you about a little grind we had to deal with in Remnant. but
Fuck that coin.
Was it the same fucking boss over and over again?
It
for up to
wasn't the
15
same
hours?
boss. It was the same area. You had to go to Earth over and over and over.
This is the
and
same
hope the
boss over.
Yeah,
And it's the
and like you
fastest
don't
way
even,
to do it.
yeah, like it's just you go in, you have to go in, you have to fight 2 bosses on your way to the end of that, and if you don't see the coin in those first 2 areas, it's not there. So you have to just keep going. You have to fight either Shroud or Gorefist, and then you have to deal with whatever bonus area they give you. No, so yeah, I 10 to 15 hours doesn't strike me as the worst grind.
It's
but
pretty fucking
can-
bad because there's nothing
I
else
can
there.
see I can see if there's nothing else there, but also that's like 1/3 of the time you've already spent in the game.
Actually, I'm at 62 hours now.
So yeah,
And I still
So-
have a good 10 hours of grinding left. So my problem with that is like you could just you could do it less monotonous and it would just take longer. Like you could just play a full new game plus and maybe get to level 99 because I was in the low 50s. Although of course as the level goes up, it takes more XP to build the bond meter because it goes up and up and up. So I'm not even sure if a full new game plus doing all of the requests again would max it at 99. It would come close. But that would be another 40 hours. So in order to do it faster, the best way to do it is to farm a boss over and over and over and over
Yeah.
again. And that is monotonous as hell.
yeah.
It is so fucking boring. I did it
Maybe-
for a couple hours the other night and I was like, holy shit, this sucks.
Maybe you'll get to the point where it just becomes like second nature.
Oh, I'm
And
gonna
you're
put
just
this
like,
shit
okay,
on mute and watch TV.
Exactly.
But I can't not like at this point, like I didn't realize how bad the grind was until I started doing it. I didn't realize how long it would take because then I looked it up at what other people took and I looked at how long it took me to beat the boss and then multiplied that by how many times it took me to fight the boss to boost the bond meter times how many levels I had left in the bond meter. I was like, oh fuck. Oh fuck.
It was like the Diablo 3 bounty trophy.
Oh God, no! Fuck that! Don't talk to me about the bounties.
If there was like new content in the new game plus or something that like spiced it up and made that like a dragon to chase, it doesn't though. And also Merciless sucks a butt. Merciless difficulty sucks a butt.
Why?
But the new game plus Merciless is faster grind than the new game Metatron one. So
What's the
So-
key?
what do you mean?
What's the difference between Merciless and like why does it suck a butt?
It sucks so much, but so first of all, everything hits so hard. Like I loaded in the fucking game and it's when you the beginning of the game really sucked because it's Joker alone. So if one character
One of those
dies-
happy little jack-o'-lantern monsters just shows up and just boom.
exactly
400
one hit
points again.
KO. One I got hit by actually it was
God.
a pixie lightning struck
Oh,
me to
fucking
death.
pixies. Ugh.
Literally, I started the fight and I started the game over again. It is a lot of one-hit KOs out of nowhere, sometimes with random like normie mob enemies. Just like a trash mob can like suddenly like and you're dead. And like there was one point in the first jail when I was doing it, literally character died, it switched me to the next character, character died, switched me to the next character, character died. I didn't have time to react. They were killing my characters in the time it took me to switch to the next one when the previous one died. It
Sucks
was
a butt.
it sucked major ass.
Hey.
And I had like levels.
I'm not sure that's so much sucking ass as it is eating ass.
Oh no,
but-
it sucks so much. And also it takes away your soft checkpoints. So there is no more
Oh,
like
God.
if you die, you can retry the boss fight. No, you go back to your last save. You are going back. So
Now can you save right before the boss fight and then it just takes you back or no?
most of the time there isn't like a save point right outside a boss room. So or
You have to
even
have
like
a save point? Fuck that.
yeah, you have to have a save point. So you either have to be in the regular world at the entrance to a jail or at a save point. And anything after that save, nope, there is no more soft like checkpoints anymore. They're gone. So that sucks. It's just the difficulty is cranked up a lot. You get hit hard, you lose your soft checkpoints. It's just like, would you like fuck you with a side of more fuck you? But I made it as far as I need to in Merciless New Game Plus. I'm at the second jail. I'm at where Rajanaga, the Dire Shadow, is. So now I just need to farm him for about 10 hours. But it is the only trophy left. Like, there's one trophy. This is the one trophy standing between me and this motherfucking platinum. And it's just one trophy that makes this platinum super rare. This would be my most rare platinum because it is sitting at 0.05% of people right now getting this trophy. Maybe 0.06.
It's not a lot.
It would be my most rare platinum.
I'll probably be there eventually with you.
Fuck, it sucks. The bond meter sucks. It is just so unbalanced, comparatively to the other pieces of content in the game. Like, nothing else takes nearly this long. Nothing else lasts you this long, except for this one thing. So it's a little unbalanced, and that's my one complaint as a trophy hunter. I didn't put that in my review because it has fuck all to do with playing the actual game.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't just say, "Well, the trophies are good."
Yeah, this one trophy sucks. But yeah, so
I will do this.
It's also because of this trophy and how tired I am and how hard I've been working on stuff. Like, I found an apartment in under a week. And I reviewed Persona.
It's like, fucking great, I gotta grind.
I beat Strikers in what, 9 days?
Is there running water?
I beat Strikers in like 9 days, I think. So I'm exhausted, and I have officially decided I'm not going to write about Bravely. I'm just going to play it for fun because I need that in my life right now.
Yes.
And
Self-care.
I will be starting it this week after I'm done grinding Rajanaga into the dust for 10 hours.
Nice.
Breathe.
You should stream that. Moose.
Anything suck a butt this week?
No, everything was, right as rain.
I just like your smile. I like your face.
No.
No, I did not.
No.
Everything was good.
Everything was good. Yeah. Been playing a lot of Rogue Heroes. Haven't beaten it like Jason, but we co-opted a little bit more. Had some fun with that. Had some issues with that. But all in all, the co-op is a lot of fun. And then played some Breakpoint with Jeff and by myself, which I'm just playing the game. I don't even know. I discovered that I needed to like do story missions because I'm like level. I was like the game has gear scores, and I was like level 100, 110 before I even decided to like start doing main missions. I was just finding bases.
You went the Jason way of leveling.
Right. Like I just like was clearing out like enemy. I was like, oh, here's a base that has loot. Let's go clear it out. And I'd go clear it out. And so it's been entertaining, and I'm gonna throw Jeff under the bus here for a second just because it's funny. So like the game, you have like different classes, and he plays a sniper and I play the assault class, so I'm more up close and personal. And the funny thing is, a lot of the times our cover is blown is because Jeff's trying to take a shot, inebriated, by the way, and misses, and you just see in the bottom lower right corner of the screen,
alert.
Friend shot heard, and then it says in parentheses, Mr. Hefe, and I'm like, so I'm just like, we're going live, so I pull out the shotgun and got the grenade launcher and ready to go, and it's just like, I'm like, just whatever, because he was saying like, I don't know how our play styles are gonna mix, and I'm like, well, if you would hit a shot and kill somebody, like, we'd be all right. But
Jeff, stop sucking butt.
yeah.
Have I not said that before on this show? Is this something new for you?
No, you. I'm pretty sure you've said.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we've all said it at some point in some variants. But the way you delivered it today, which just had that earworm sort of sugar on it. That
it's my number 2 go-to after Eat My Farts. Suck a butt. Just for reference.
Okay.
Michaela suck a butt Krishone.
So been playing Breakpoint. It's a lot of fun. The story's pretty good. I'm liking it. So looking forward to finishing that. I don't even know what's gonna happen with the platinum. So, anyways, that, and then I started a D-Rust run in Bloodborne because I'd like to try to do a Deathless run. So I've been having fun with that because I got a couple of friends who are doing Deathless runs. And so a buddy of mine who did a no-HUD Deathless run is now doing his first hitless run. And so I've been watching him do that, which is good. And then watching another friend do his Deathless run, which is really funny because like it's just like just run by him, just run by the enemy, and sometimes I'll be like, no, I gotta kill everything. It's like, this is why you can't get the PB, man, because you're trying to kill everything. And so
That's what I do.
So anyway, so it's just a bunch of fun. And then on the Switch, other than Rogue Heroes, I think that's like pretty much been it, you know. So and then the PS4 has just been Breakpoint and Bloodborne. It's kind of boring lately. We got through our game club game last month, and then like me and Jason have been like playing Rogue Heroes co-op, and so I've been diving into that and having fun with that, and I'd like to beat that pretty soon, so I'm working towards it. I'm through half the dungeons. I just need to get through the other half because I think there's 4. There's only 4, right?
There's 4.
Right? Yeah, so I'm halfway through, so I should be able to make it, hopefully, you know, the next 2 weeks, be done with that. And then I feel like I'll look forward to like the content that they're going to put out, because they've already stated that they want to add more dungeons and they want to fine tune and flesh out the classes more, which would be great. I feel like they need a little more variant than just like their little quote unquote B attack, which is usually, it's like the leap from the night, which stuns targets, or like with the bomber, you like leave a bomb behind and stun targets. And there's other ones like the thief. I know Jason likes the thief, which I just unlocked and I'd like to play it, but like you disappear and then show up behind your enemy and do like an insane amount of critical hit damage to them, which is nice. And I'm like, that could be pretty cool. So I'd like to see him flesh out the classes a little bit more. And then also I want to try the endless dungeon, like Jason said. But that's pretty much it for now. I don't have anything on the horizon. Like, I don't think there's any games coming out that I'm looking forward to. So it's just it's a boring month.
I don't think March really has much now that, especially since
usually
Ricardo got
March
boosted.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there are a couple in April, and
April's got Outriders, Near,
And then-
Resident Evil is April.
No, May. Resident Evil's May.
Is it May?
But it's close. It's close enough.
Yeah, like I've got my eyes looking. I've got one eye looking at getting a PS5, and the other eye looking squarely at Deathloop and wanting to play the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, April, May's looking good, but March doesn't really have anything this year. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Maybe he's gonna have Biomutant.
Oh my God! Did I tell one thing?
I'll believe it when that happens.
Real quick, my apartment that I found, the move-in date is June 10th. Do you know what the fuck June 10th is?
Biomutant Day.
No, that's May 25th.
I don't know dates. So.
June 10th is FF7
That's
remake
really
on
fine.
PS5 with episode Yuffie. It is the Ninja Gaiden Master Collection, and then June 11th is Ratchet and Clank. Guess who will not be playing that shit?
Well, it looks like you were going to get up super early, June 10th, get everything to your apartment by noon, and just spend the 11th resting.
Matt, with that attitude, she's not, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I hear.
I'm paying a mover. You think they're going to be like, oh, she needs to play a video
Elbow
game?
grease, Michaela.
You pay the mover, you go there, you set up the PS5 on the floor, the TV.
You just put shit around me.
Yeah,
leave me alone.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
That's exactly what you tell them.
You're like, look, I'm going to be in the living room with a TV on the floor, a PS5, and a pizza. If anything hits any of us, you guys die.
Right. I mean, they're moving it for you.
Are we
You're
cool?
paying them to move this stuff, not to help.
I'm not
you.
unpacking anything for a week. I'll just live out of boxes and be a weird semi-homeless person.
So, like
That's
Jason,
not
for a
weird.
while.
That's normal.
Yeah, no, that's what I did. Like the first thing when my
Jason, you moved a house. This is a 1-bedroom apartment.
when my
You're a
ex-wife
woman, so
when my ex-wife and I separated, like the first thing I did in my apartment, I didn't even put my bed together. I actually did an episode of Platinum Achievements in my apartment, sitting on the floor. But that's me. What are you doing, Bagel?
He's roaming.
He's roaming and
Bagel's
he's
being
squeaking.
Bagel.
But
Yeah.
he has so I'm pretty sure I've said this on the show multiple times, but he has these Kong teddy bears that he just tears apart, and he pulls the squeaker out, carries it in his mouth, and just like whines for a month. And it's like he's mourning the kill that he did.
Yeah.
He has regrets.
Yet he keeps doing it.
I was gonna say, but he'll do it again in an
yeah. You get him a new call, and things I think will last maybe a few days at most. Anything else, Moose?
I did download a mobile game and then immediately deleted it and realized my mistake.
What'd you download?
Was it like Blade and something? I can't remember the full name of it. It just came out not too long ago. It came out of beta, and I downloaded it and was like, oh, this looks cool. I could try this. It looked like a kind of like an action adventure game with like swords and stuff. And I'm like, maybe I'll try this. Then there was like, obviously, it's like all mobile games. Like you download it, then there's like 4 patches you have to download. But what was really cool is they had like this little mini game where it was just like a endless runner, and you just had to jump to like get coins. And, like,
I was about to go blink 3 times if you're in trouble.
Well, I saw it and I was like, that kind of looks cool. I haven't played a mobile game in like forever, except for my Switch, obviously. But that's an actual system. That's not like your phone mobile. But anyways, it was just entertaining. I think the problem was I got into the character select screen and I'm like, there's way too much to read here. Like, I just want to play a class. Oh, so like the 2 male characters are 2 separate classes and the female characters are 2 other classes, and you can't like play a class as a male, this class is a male, or this class is like, I'm out. I'm like, I'm done. I'm not playing this. So, but anyways, other than that, nothing else.
Oh, and I forgot. I got the 8BitDo SN Pro controller.
Nice.
So I got to try that out for a little bit. So I was fine with the DualShock 4, but trying to the buttons, like it's like press A, and I'm like constantly looking down. I'm like, that's circle. What the fuck? And then I was like, you know what? Just gonna get the controller. Okay, we're good to go now.
It's also a nice controller.
Very nice controller.
It is.
It's called Blade and Soul.
Good stuff.
Revolution.
Yeah. Blade and Soul Revolution.
Matt, what'd you play?
Blazeball's back.
Awesome.
You're all like, it was gone?
I didn't know that.
No, they were on like a long break at the end of the year, and they came back this week, and the Charleston Shoe Thieves won. But it was nice to be following that again. I think they're in a new era now, so everything kind of has reset. So it's at its most parsable that it's been in probably about 6 months. But that's really not what I want to talk about. I did play a lot more Earthbound. I am to the 4th town. I know it's the 4th town because it is called Fourside, spelled Fourside, just in case. But I wrapped up Hitman 3. And before I go into my spiel here, I have an administrative question for the crew regarding our backlog games. No, I am not trying to make Hitman a backlog game for me, so don't go there. But something happened this week, and I would like to focus my efforts on Hitman as a franchise rather than play the Surge. So what I am posing is if we automatically make my next one the Surge, and I just hear me out, Moose. Let me finish.
I was going to argue in your case, like it's just.
But now you're not. You can't.
No, now he's got to. Counselor, continue.
So if I can make my next backlog game the Surge, I don't get a. You don't have to revote mine. I'm just taking a mulligan this month. I won't participate in the backlog episode because obviously, I didn't play. But is that a thing we could do?
Or you could just make Hitman the thing you talk about in the backlog episode.
But I've been talking about it for 4 weeks straight.
Yeah, but are you playing the other Hitman games?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be talking about Hitman 3.
No.
You wouldn't be allowed to talk about Hitman 3.
Right.
Okay.
So then that's fine.
Okay.
If you talk about Hitman 3, I'm going to get a shock collar and zap you. Just during the backlog episode, or maybe all the time, but...
I'm kind of curious.
I'm kind of intrigued by this.
I want to see it happen on air. That'd be impressive.
I've been no, you don't want to see that actually.
Whoa now, whoa,
hey,
whoa!
You don't want to see it. Trust me.
We've gone from fucking butt to shock collars. Same episode.
Sucks.
I'm not here to kink shame anybody. You want to suck a butt? You suck a butt.
Just,
But so
we gotta have a line. There's gotta be a line.
And then we're just gonna go over it to the next
It
line.
could be faint. It could be like that dry erase line that's been there 10 years and doesn't come off, but it's gotta be a line.
So I finished Hitman 3. Hitman. So I was at a place last week where I was in the feels about it, and then the final mission of Hitman 3 kind of rectified a lot of it. I'm not really gonna go into spoilers. I like the ending. I don't like the final mission. I think the final mission is far and away the weakest in this modern trilogy of Hitman games. But it was a good ending, I think. Now, so Hitman 3 overall might be the Dark Souls 3 of these Hitman games, because I think everything that they've tried to do has sort of come to a nice crystallized form in Hitman 3. Like not all the missions are the best, but I feel like playing around in these levels is better than it's ever been. Especially since you have access to everything you've done over the trilogy. If you did everything in 2, like if you did all the missions in 2 and all the missions in 1 that were also in Hitman 2, all of that carries over to 3. Now, if you just did Hitman 2016, none of that carries over because they learned that with Hitman 2. And it's one of those things. It sucks, but also like I'm glad they did what they did. If I were going to make any real complaints, I had 3 trophies bug. So getting back to and I'm 3 trophies from this platinum. 3. I have done all the requirements multiple times. I did everything I could except for this one thing I'm about to say. I deleted the game, reinstalled the game, deleted all my saves, and reinstalled the game, did everything again. Everything else popped around these 3 trophies, but not these 3. So what I ended up doing is I ended up logging into the IO servers and wiping my progress. Now, what wiping your progress does is it takes everything you did from 2 and the Hitman 1 stuff into. So your progress is at complete 0. Doesn't take away the trophies you've earned, so it's not like I have to re-earn the trophies because that's luckily PSN, not IO. But what I have been doing since I did this, Actually, no, before I go there, why I did this is last week, the first elusive target for Hitman 3 came out. I was able to do it on Friday, and it was one of those few times where you step into an elusive target. Now, this isn't the first time I've done the Deceivers. They've released it like 3 separate times since 2016. But I stepped in and I'm like, okay, let's see if I can remember where these two assholes are, because as Jason, I know your backlog game is Hitman 2016. You can use the detective vision and see where your targets are. In elusive targets, you can't. Like you can use the detective vision, but they don't pop up. You have to go find them. And that's one of my favorite things about these Hitman games is these elusive targets. I kind of wish there were more of them, but IO, do your thing, pay your people the way that you need to. But this one, I walked in, found the first one like right away, and he's sitting on a patio, like outdoor cafe in Sapienza, talking to somebody before they go off to a meeting. Anyway, walked up to the table. Basically, I did the whole like drunk dude at a bar and just walked up. He's sitting there and I just get right in his face and he like stands up. He's like, "What are you doing?" He walks away and I poison his coffee. And he comes back, takes a drink, just dies. Like, all right. Now, when you're in an elusive target and there's multiple targets, if you kill one of them, you are in. You have to finish it, otherwise you fail. And then, so I sneak into the giant villa that's in Sapienza, which is the 1/3 of the level at this point. And I'm trying to find this other guy because it says this particular politician. I forget. I think this one is Congressman Trout. He's in meeting with the villa proprietor, and so I go in. I did not stay in my suit, thank God, because if you stay in your suit, you get seen pretty easily. But I found like a butler outfit. So I'm walking around, black long sleeve black short sleeve button up, white gloves. I'm just climbing over this villa on the outside and no one is saying shit. But I find these two on a balcony and I basically follow them throughout the mansion. Like they walk this thing 3 or 4 times. And I'm like, how am I going to kill this guy? He has 2 bodyguards that do not leave his ass, and one guy in front of him that is doing his best job to be a shitty tour guide while he's waiting to talk to the villa owner. And they walk down to the wine cellar, and of course, they do a tasting. I'm like, that's my opening. So I'm going to stay here, wait till they leave, poison the wine, and walk to an exit. And eventually they will walk by, take a drink, and I'm home free.
No.
I go to this exit, and I'm sitting there for what feels like 3 hours. And I get there, or I get back, so I'm like, what the fuck are these assholes doing? They're stuck in the library just staring at each other. Like the code broke, and it's basically like the end scene in The Good, the Bad, the Ugly without Estasio del Oro playing, and nobody's talking. I'm like, y'all gonna kill each other or what? Anyway, what happens is I threw a coin right into the middle of them, and that sort of like all of a sudden you see three little AI just go, whoa. And then the tour guide goes, so how about a glass of wine? I'm like, oh, now we're going to do this. So I walked behind them, made sure they were going the right way, saw they were headed that way, and I crossed my fingers and I'm like, all right, here we go. And he drank the wine. I got on a boat, silent assassin. Out, I did the elusive target, and then I'm like, okay, so I've been trying to research how to do these 3 trophies, how to work around it, and then I'm like, then I found out the only way to do it is to wipe your progress. So I wiped my progress last night, deleted the game, started downloading it again, and I was hoping it would download so I could just redo the elusive target. And it didn't finish, so I woke up early this morning to try and do it. I got into the mission with a half hour left. Thing took me 15 minutes where I was stuck in a loop forever, and I basically did the same thing. And I poisoned the guy in the cafe first. Found the wine glass. Distracted a couple of people that were just standing there looking at the wine glass like it was the Holy Grail, and poisoned it. Walked to the boat. He walks by before I even get to the boat, and I'm out. But that was why I reset my progress, because I didn't want to lose the elusive target this time out. So that's where I'm at. Like, sure, I had to give up all of my elusive target earnings from Hitman 2, which was a lot, but c'est la vie. I would much rather have the Hitman 3 Platinum than access to a trendy Italian suit and black leather gloves because I killed Sean Bean without getting spotted. But while I was there, I'm like, you know what? I should just go back and do all of the Hitman 1 stuff in Hitman 2. So when I do the carryover into Hitman 3, all those trophies pop. So I'm going to do that 2-for-1 dance because, trophies are fun. Also, killing rich people in Hitman is fun too. Stay in school, kill rich people in Hitman. And then I think it was Thursday or Friday last week, IO announced their March roadmap, and their next elusive target doesn't come out till towards the end of the month, but it is the stowaway from the final level of Hitman 2. So now I'm at kind of a race against time to get my mastery back up on that level so I can be able to start where I need to kill that asshole. That's a fun elusive target too. Y'all are bored. I bored y'all. That's fair.
No, I have nothing. I have no knowledge of how Hitman works.
Circles.
What?
I just said you're just working the never-ending circles.
Yeah, it's
it's all right.
They don't end.
Listen, it's like any other game. You found the game that you're enjoying and like
hell yeah.
For, so that's what matters. I mean, Jason's found it in Outriders, so I'm sure we'll be hearing about that when he's playing that come April 1st.
Are you familiar with Hitman at all, Michaela, or no?
Yeah, I just have no idea how these trophies work, or like playing different Hitman games because they relate to each other. I don't get how that works.
So think of your Hitman progress as your Mass Effect save.
I didn't play Mass Effect.
Okay, but you know that like you could carry your save through the trilogy. So your Hitman mastery progress, like, it really only matters with 2 and 3. So if I did everything I could in Paris in Hitman 2, I don't have to redo that in 3 to have all those unlocks, because every time you reach, like, every couple of levels, you get a different starting location, or you have access to a different starting location as an option, or you get a new weapon to your inventory. So like, you kind of want to get your masteries up so you can just automatically start with lethal pills. So you could just beeline to the target, poison whatever they're eating or drinking, and get the fuck out. Or you unlock, the really good, the really hard hitting and suppressed sniper rifles. And those provide a lot of interesting use cases as well, despite just being sniper rifles. Like you unlock various rubber duckies, which are essentially either remote or proximity mines. And they're really fun. I unlocked Napoleon Bonaparte today, which is the same concept as a rubber ducky, but he's shaped like a cartoon Napoleon. And when you sit him down, he plays the French national anthem to distract somebody. And then when they go over and see what it is, you press the button and blown apart. So yeah, Hitman's fun. You also
I know the
unlock-
crazy part of it. Like I've seen people running around smacking people with a banana in Hitman type of deal. The part I don't understand is how like the trophies work and the connections between progress and game. I didn't know all that.
Yeah, and that's probably my fault for not really explaining that better, but
It's exactly your fault.
Yeah.
Not IO's fault at all. It's all.
I will not blame IO for this.
Suck a butt. It's your fault.
Yes. I do not rest the blame at IO. This is not their fault because they put out a masterpiece trilogy of games. And that is their fault. The fact that these games are so goddamn good.
Mm-hmm.
And I stand by that statement. Thank you, IO, for making these masterpieces of Clockwork Simulator slapstick comedy. They rule. After finishing 3 and the way that they did story, I'm more interested into how they take on a Bond property.
Yes.
Jason, that was a pretty stiff eye roll. You okay, buddy?
No, I'm excited for that. I'm interested in what they'll do.
Oh, okay, or it's me talking. Okay, let's move on then.
It's time for backlog nomination.
No.
Or Game Club
Nomination.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Who would like to go first?
I'll volunteer to go first.
A lady who has her
hand.
hand raised.
I've known what mine
Yes,
would be.
madam, down front.
I figured it out a couple weeks ago.
Down front, you with the psychic connection to a moose.
Yes. Concrete Genie is my nomination for Game Club. We all have access to it. It was recently a PS Plus freebie. It is a beautiful little game. Underrated, I think, in my opinion. And would like to shine a light on it. It's also short and very doable.
Okay.
I'm like,
I left
yep,
that one wide open for you.
You did. I'm trying to hold it back, but Moose, you're next.
I'm a double down man-eater.
GT Shark. I have 2 that I know, but
one.
I'm
Have to pick one.
Fuck. Well, okay, so help me reason this out then.
No.
No,
No.
hear me out.
No.
Hear me out.
No.
Hear me out.
No.
Cut his mic.
Go ahead, cut my mic. Jason, what's your nomination?
You can go. Pick one.
Hyper Light Drifter.
Okay. That wasn't that hard. See?
See, that wasn't hard.
Well, I wanted to have
I'm curious though what the other one was.
It was Fez because they're both soundtracked by Disaster Piece, and y'all should listen to the music. Just saying.
My other one, now I don't know if I know 3 of us have it. Resident Evil 2.
I do not have that.
Wasn't that a PS Plus game at some point?
No.
The original.
Normally we take 2 weeks, but I feel like everyone kind of gravitated towards a title already, at least a majority already did. But we can still wait the 2 weeks to announce it. But did someone's nomination get a second?
I mean, I'd play Resident Evil.
One would. Well, see, he says that, and I'm like,
all right, we'll wait 2 weeks and then announce it. But
yeah.
it was a light news week.
Yeah, this was like nothing.
There was like nothing. No news is good news.
Not if you're like a Bayonetta fan or something. It's not.
No, it is because that means they're actually
Yeah, it means they haven't canceled it yet.
just
You don't know.
keep working on it in silence. Polish
Oh,
the fuck out
speaking
of
of
it.
Nintendo and no news, there was SMT Nocturne did get its ERB rating. Not SMT5, but the Nocturne remaster got rated.
What?
Oh, and didn't Square Enix announce there
What we're
was
talking about?
more remasters or
Remakes from a studio that they're partnering with to do their IPs, but we don't know which ones.
The Atlas survey came out, and it seems like they asked several, I think, multiple tens of questions about porting to other consoles and or PC. So clearly they're thinking about that.
I'm sure the surprise blaze of fire that was Persona 4 Golden.
It's not a surprise.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
Not a surprise.
not to anyone else, but to that, like,
To them, to those fucking morons over there.
On Steam, and they put it out on Steam, and it's like, oh, wait a second, we could actually make money on this platform.
Every single person that works at that company can take a bath in a tub of money based on P4 Gold and going to fucking Steam.
Right? No, I agree with. I'm saying a surprise to them, not to anyone else.
I know,
like,
they're so annoying.
as soon as that went to PC, I was like, yeah, like that's gonna sell like.
Although I never know who the stopgap is. Is it Atlas or is it Sega with the ports? Like, why aren't they doing this? It's free money.
Oh, it's Atlas. It's definitely Atlas.
Yeah, it's probably Atlas.
It's definitely because I mean,
well, Sega
Atlas
publishes them, right? Atlas.
Sega owns Atlas, I think.
Sega owns Atlas. Which
They
is
don't
weird.
have
Sega owns Yakuza and don't they own Yakuza?
Yeah.
And Persona now. Like two of the bigger franchises that have just kind of become
better
fan
known.
favorite.
Yeah. Which I mean,
They
it's
also
good.
have Valkyria Chronicles. Please make a fifth one, please.
I'm sure they will. I mean, the fourth.
They do not sell.
No, they don't sell. They don't sell.
But I love them.
That fourth one had a really good dog.
Fuck, that fourth one had a really good everything.
I just remember the dog, but okay.
I mean, the dog's on the cover. He's great.
V1 Interactive shut down, the makers of Disintegration, 1 year they were in. Sucks for the studio, but I don't know how many people played Disintegration. This is the studio from the Halo co-creator.
Oh shit.
So that always sucks. And the EU confirmed Microsoft's purchase of Bethesda.
Well, ZeniMax, but yeah.
ZeniMax, but
Which we knew was coming.
Yeah.
But there's still rumors? It's still about a Microsoft show this month where they may or may not talk about upcoming titles under that label. Who knows?
It's funny. Aaron Greenberg basically confirmed the show because he says there will be no Elden Ring announcement at the Xbox show. And then it was
But you didn't say there's no Xbox show.
wait, is there an Xbox show? No, I didn't say that.
I said there'd be no Elden Ring at it.
It might also not be like this month. It might be something they decide to do towards the E3 time zone.
I think they could do one this month and at E3 time when I'm moving and too busy to pay attention because fuck, damn it. Why does my lease end on Memorial Day? This sucks.
It does suck.
That was you created your own reality.
You did sign that. You did sign that lease.
I didn't. It's weird. I moved here on March 15th of 2018, but my lease ended May 31st. No matter if she wanted to go June to whatever, like she wanted to either end or in June or December, but I didn't move here till March 15th. So I'm coming up almost next show. It'll be 3 years in the den of peds.
No more peds.
No more fucking peds.
That would be nice.
Wasn't there a Pokemon thing this past week, or was that the week before?
That was the
week before.
Seems interesting. I mean, I was never really a big Pokemon player. So.
Yeah, I was always fascinated by the art, but I tried looking at the games once, and I'm like, I
played Shield because I hadn't played one since Fire Red and Leaf Green, and the GameCube games, like I forget what the one with the Lugia on it, and and the ones that had like the Espeon and on it, like the GameCube games that weren't like the handheld turn-based ones, were the last ones I played along with Leaf Green. So it'd been long enough that I was like, I could play a new Pokemon. I haven't played them in fucking forever. So I played Shield, and now I feel like I'm good for another 10 to 15 years.
Probably.
So these don't really do it for me.
I feel like
my friend who's a huge Diamond and Pearl fan is really excited.
Yeah, I feel like Zelda got robbed.
Oh yeah,
You know,
it
like
did.
celebration. You know, I mean, now here's the thing. You know, they could come out. They said they'd have Breath of the Wild 2 news later this year. They could come out and be like, "Hey, it's coming out in November," and announce it in like June or July, and then boom, there's your 35th anniversary celebration. But also, in the defense of Nintendo, it's like one team doing the Zelda games. Whereas in like Pokemon has like a huge ass development team, which is kind of like.
Well, didn't they get help with Breath of the Wild? Like, didn't Monolith Soft help with some of the environments and stuff for Breath of the Wild?
Yeah,
They did.
but go ahead.
I was just gonna, the anniversary thing. They messed up. There's no recovery because I guarantee you, if next March I wish Jess a happy 8th anniversary when our anniversary is in November, it's not gonna go over well. The anniversary is the anniversary. That's it.
Right.
Nintendo done messed up. It doesn't matter. Like, yes, I'll be excited if they announced, hey, available in November. That's cool. You missed the anniversary. You fucked up. It doesn't matter. Like,
so basically, Nintendo needs to think about its player base as a potentially angry wife.
Right.
Is the parallel you just drew there.
But people, it's a big anniversary, like, and basically everyone acknowledged it except
Nintendo. Like
I
all
feel
they had to do was send a fucking tweet on the day, and they didn't even do that.
Or like all you have to do is say some Game Boy Advance games are available on Switch now.
Well, see now,
I would say we're being a little greedy. They didn't have to actually announce any games. They don't.
I mean, that's true.
No, I'm saying they should have at least had a social media presence.
But they could have at least done like with Mario, the Mario 10 day, which I know they didn't make up, but the games are actually on sale. Mario games never go on sale. They're on sale right now. Like for the anniversary, you could have at least done that. Like, yes, there's only one Switch. Well, no, there's two Switch games for Zelda's games on Switch. But like even your whole catalog, people still play the other systems. Whatever. I mean,
I wonder, and like the optimistic part of me, the hopeful part of me wants to believe that they had something in mind for the 35th anniversary. But I also sort of realized that due to last year's pandemic, this year is going to be more the year that things get pushed back, more so than last year. Because I don't know how game development works. I'm not pretending I do in any sense, but usually once a release date happens, it's reasonable to assume that you are more than 75% done with the project. Reasonable, plenty of times a studio or a publisher or even a platform holder has said, yeah, this will be ready, and then they just patch the shit out of it when it comes out. It's your No Man's Skies, your Cyberpunks, I can't think of anything else right now, but most Bethesda games, just
several
in general.
Ubisoft games, like Creed.
Fallout New Vegas. I don't think it actually still actually doesn't work right on a PS3, but that's a different thing.
How great would it be? Nintendo just being petty. Horizon Zero Dawn gets a launch, and Nintendo's like, "Oh, Breath of the Wild is 2 days later."
That's what they're waiting for. They're like, okay, we fucked them in 2017. We gotta fuck them again.
You know what? I would love it. I would honestly love that. Not like as a like fuck you to Horizon, because that's a series. It's a game I loved. It was one of my games of the year that year. But so Nintendo likes to push around Sony any chance they get, because you remember when the Vita released, like the week before was when when I think the deadline for Nintendo's ambassador program, where you got a whole bunch of 3DS games that you could never get again. So everybody reasonably spent money on a 3DS before the Vita. And, that had to eat into the Vita's sales. And then I think also 3D Land came out around that same time. But that's Nintendo likes to Nintendo does try to push around Sony any chance they get, and in a weird way they kind of succeed. I would like that just because like, oh, you have your big nice thing. Well, here, we're Nintendo. We just got a game. We just got this thing. Let's see what happens. That would be cool.
Actually, I'd be interested because I'm not saying I would get both games and both.
Oh, exactly.
Normally, but I'd be curious to see what Breath of the Wild does without being a new system. Because how much of Breath of the Wild sold because the Switch just came brand new? Now it's just
unless they launch it with this like rumored Pro.
But even if they did, I don't think it's the same effect because there's going to be plenty of people who don't care about the Pro. Like they're not going to be, if they have a working Switch, like you're not going to be rushing out to, like, of course there's a sect of people who new tech, they're getting it no matter what. But the majority, like parents aren't going to, especially if they just got Switches within the last year, you think they're buying their kid a brand new one? No.
Maybe the really, really rich, spoiled ones.
Well, yes, there's obviously, but so it would be interesting to see them go head to head again.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
considering,
well, yeah. I mean, I was gonna say because Horizon's next gen, but it's people are saying it's held back slightly because it's both gens. It's being made, but I don't think it is.
Would you say Miles Morales was held back? No. Exactly.
No.
So.
No.
Oh, there was
that initial load time sucked, but it wasn't held back.
There was actually an interesting game announcement this week. I'm excited. I don't know about you. That Aliens Fire Team actually looks pretty cool. It's the co-op shooter set in the Aliens universe. It's like I think it's 3 or 4 player co-op. It's like 13 years after the last movie. It looks actually pretty cool. So I'm excited.
Speaking of excited, Matt, I don't know if you saw it. We were talking about it before you joined for this. Tales of Arise got a new teaser trailer, which is promising news this spring.
I fell off the Tales games. I haven't played one since I played the one before Vesperia, and that was the last one I played was Zillia 2. Then I think it was Vesperia, then Berseria, right?
When did Zestiria come out? That was in there too.
That name.
Zestiria was 2016. It was the most recent one.
that naming convention. Vesperia, Berseria, Zestirias.
Yeah, don't worry about it. But Arise
Symphonia,
looks
Zillia.
The big
Arise
thing
looks
about
good.
this new trailer is we heard the voice actors, and one of them's Ray Chase, and the other one is Erica Lindbeck, aka Futaba.
Yeah. No,
But yeah, I'm excited for news this spring. It was originally targeting last year. We all know that didn't happen. That was announced E3 2019. That was a no. But I'm excited for it. It looks dope. It looks pretty. I want very much.
I do like me a Tales game. It's my favorite JRPG series. I haven't played them all. Oh well.
Want to call it? Moose?
Might as well.
Bye.
At Story Route Zero, we have some cool friends who do some cool things, and I'd like to tell you about them. Phoenix Overdrive uses the power of games and gamers to help heal sick kids through the charity Extra Life. Phoenix Overdrive fundraises for Children's Miracle Network hospitals all year, every year, and the fun culminates in a 24-hour gaming marathon. Find out more about their events and projects online via Facebook at facebook.com/Phoenix Overdrive or on Twitter and Instagram at PHX_Overdrive. You can also join the Facebook group of Pawn Stars at facebook.com/groups/PO Nation in order to share and discuss all the latest in nerd culture. They've also got a podcast, Nerd Overdrive, which you can see weekly at youtube.com/Phoenix Overdrive. You can also catch it on Facebook Live or twitch.tv/PHX_Overdrive. That podcast is also published on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Stitcher. You want merch? They got merch. Merch can be ordered from tinyurl.com/PHXODmerch, a portion of which goes to their fundraising efforts. Join the nation and be a hero to sick kids, as El Capitan Ray Osorio, Lee the Maestro, and Becky, the lovely queen of the guild, always say, #Rise Above. Thank you for listening to Story Route Zero. We hope you have enjoyed your time here as much as we've enjoyed having you. Once again, questions, concerns, complaints, pictures of pets, or favorite recipes can be sent to storyroute0@gmail.com. You can yell at us on Twitter at StoryRoute0. Rate us and review us on iTunes, YouTube, or wherever you may have found us, as it helps with discoverability. If you'd like to hit us up individually, you can find Moose Cool at Sven, that's SVHENN on Twitter, PSN, Instagram, and of course Twitch, streaming games. You can find Jason Marshall writing at obelisk.co. You can also find him on Twitter at GimpyJ with 2 Y's at the end, as well as PSN, Instagram, and Twitch. He also has his own website, whereisthepausebutton.com. You can find Michaela Crescione doing all sorts of writing at obelisk.co, as well as on Twitter at RedXMaud. My name is Matthew Keel. You can find me everywhere I'd like to be at infinite_rewind. That's Twitter, that's Instagram, that's Twitch, that's PSN, and I also have my own website, infiniterewind.com. Be sure to check us out at all the places. You are always welcome, and you will always have a seat waiting for you on this ride. Thank you for listening, but for now, it's back to the real world for us. So we will see you on the next one.